Not only is the Alola region the final region of our top 5 potential Mega Evolution series, but it's also the only region that doesn't have any native Pokemon that can Mega Evolve. While Unova and Kalos both have a single Pokemon, and all the previous regions have multiple Pokemon that can Mega Evolve, the Alola region introduced Z-moves and decided to hold off on Mega Evolutions, and since then, we haven't received a single new Mega Evolution. Like I just said, Z-moves were introduced in Sun and Moon, so a lot of the Pokemon that would have received Megas from the Alola region got Z-moves instead, and chances are that the Pokemon that got Z-moves won't be getting any Mega Evolutions, at least not anytime soon. But since a lot of these Pokemon are incredibly popular and are very significant to the story of the Sun and Moon games and to the Alola region as a whole, we're gonna be ignoring Z-moves on this list and act as if the Pokemon that have Z-moves can still receive Megas, because a lot of these Pokemon are arguably the ones that will receive Megas within the Alola region. And hey, let's be honest, Mega Evolution is the better feature anyways. So, in today's episode of the top 5 potential Megas, we're going to be going over the top 5 potential Alola Mega Evolutions. And since there aren't any Pokemon that can Mega Evolve from the Alola region, all the Pokemon on this list aren't going to be much of a surprise, as we got some pretty popular and story significant Pokemon on this list. If you haven't seen the last episode of this series, where we covered the top 5 potential Kalos Mega Evolutions, then be sure to check that out first. But if you're all caught up, then let's jump right into the top 5 potential Alola Mega Evolutions. Number 5. Komala. See, I told you that we were gonna have Pokemon with Z-moves on this list. Now, Komala is arguably the least popular pseudo-legendary Pokemon, but in no way is it a weak or unpopular Pokemon. People were crying for a Dragon and Fighting type Pokemon, as well as a more defensive pseudo after all. That being said though, I'll be honest, the only real reason as to why I included it here on this list is because, with the Megas from the top 5 potential Mega Evolution series, every pseudo aside from Komala has received a Mega. So to be fair, it's only right that Komala receives a Mega as well. With this Megacomo from Triwolf, it retains its Dragon and Fighting typing and emphasizes the scales from its design, which has always been Komala's most distinctive feature, as it's based off an Ankylosaur. And there's a reason why its Z-move was called Clanger's Soul Blaze. Since that move dealt damage and gave a stat boost to every stat, I don't think any Mega can really top it. But maybe if we mainly focus on raising Megacomo's defenses along with its attack stat just a bit, we could have a good defensive pseudo. Those skills are definitely going to be protecting Komala, but just in case it needs a bit more help, we could have its ability be multi-scale, so that it can take a hit real well even if it's a fairy type attack and dish out a massive amount of damage right back. But if that doesn't sound too good, maybe Steelworker could be its ability, because the Pokedex does talk about its scales are made out of steel. So 3 different stab types and one that can take out its biggest threat of fairies might be a real nice deal for our friend Megacomo. Number 4. Komala. Everyone expected this little guy to receive an evolution, but it turned out to be a single stage evolution with a good base stat total as well as a really good ability. Komala's main gimmick is that it's always sleeping wherever it goes, but it's still able to attack while asleep. It's even attacking Samson Oak wherever it goes in the anime. Since it's asleep, it can't be affected by any of their status conditions, but even though it's asleep, somehow it's aware of other people and trainers as it was shown in the anime, and its Pokedex entry even makes mention of how it clings onto the arm of a friendly trainer. So as it can still somewhat recognize different trainers, it can definitely still develop a bond with them, thus allowing it to Mega Evolve. This Mega Komala by Fatmon may look more like an actual evolution, but it's so great that I just had to look over it. Its log turns into a hammer, and Komala got huge, and looks as if it's aged quite a bit to say the least. Despite the age though, it kinda reminds me of a baby going to sleep while holding a rattle, which may have been the design concept for it. I'd say keep its special attack and speed the way it is, and just dump everything into its attack and defenses, cause that's the vibe I'm getting with it. For an ability, I think we can give it one called Restless Sleep, where Mega Komala is still sleeping, but is constantly tottering around and hitting everything, dealing 1/16 of the opponent's maximum HP every turn, while maintaining all of the previous effects of Comatose. Yeah, it's an ability that's very reminiscent of those of you that move around your sleep. Number 3. Mimikyu. Now Mimikyu is without a doubt a fan favorite and one of the most popular Pokemon of the Alola region. Its lore with it being tied to the mascot of Pokemon Pikachu, and it being more or less a sad and forgotten Pokemon is part of the reason behind its popularity, as many people feel bad for it, some people can relate to it, and cause some people think that it seems cute because of it. But we all know that the real reason why many people love this Pokemon is because of how deadly and horrifying it can get. It's said to look incredibly horrifying to the point where it'll get merciless revenge on anyone who tries to expose its identity. And while it would be cool to see the disguise pop off and actually see a Mimikyu for what it is, I doubt that Game Freak would ever unveil that mystery. That being said though, I can definitely see Game Freak creating a Mega Mimikyu like the one that this unknown artist has made. It's still covered in its fair-like disguise, but its ghostly limbs are sticking out, and the disguise looks to be more possessed, giving it a more horrifying look. On top of that, it's angry. If I had to give it a reason for its Mega Evolution, it'd probably be somewhere along the lines that, now that it's found a trainer's love or been accepted by a trainer, it's ready to do whatever it takes to protect them, as that's all Mimikyu's really been looking for, and that's all that it takes to really Mega Evolve. It would also make the community fall in love with Mimikyu even more than it already has. Disguise can't really be its ability now, so I'm thinking about something called Playful Vengeance. It'll basically be Iron Barbs, but with its ghostly claws. So if any Pokemon makes direct contact with Mega Mimikyu, they'll take damage to 1/8 of their maximum HP. Of course, you can Mega Evolve the turn after Disguise breaks, and considering that Mega Mimikyu will gain stat boost to both its defenses, but mainly its attack and speed, you got yourself a crazy physical sweeper that's really hard to kill. It might even be busted, but I wouldn't know. Number 2. Beware. If we had Mimikyu on this list, then you know that we had to include Beware as well. Not only were these two Pokemon originally revealed to the world together, but they both managed to become some of the most menacing Pokemon of all time. On top of that, these two both managed to become a running joke in the Pokemon anime, and Beware is basically a main part of the whole Team Rocket gig, despite not actually being their Pokemon. But if anything, Beware's Pokedex entries alone make it worthy of a Mega. Fatmount made it so that Mega Beware still retains its originally goofy design, all the while making it apparent that it isn't a Pokemon to be taken lightly. Not only will it be retaining its normal and fighting dual typing, but it'll also be retaining its incredible attack stat. In fact, it'll get a nice buff to it as well as all of its other stats, except for its special attack. We'll drop the special attack so that its defenses and speed can catch up. I know with this design, Beware looks like it can't move fast, but I mean, have you seen the way it handled Pheromosa? Yeah, that fight was clean. Fluffy is its own unique ability, but I'd like to pair it with Thick Fat to create Thick Fluff. After all, it's got some thick fluff to it. This way, direct contact moves and ice type attacks will do half damage, while fire type attacks will remain neutral instead of being super effective, like how they were with Fluffy. I think that's a good trade-off. Honestly, I do think that Beware deserves a Mega, but I think the only reason why it's here at number 2 is because I got so attached to it with the shirt that I made based off of it. Yep, that was a shameless promotion. Go check it out when you can. Honorable mentions: Golisopod and Salazzle. Honestly, our honorable mentions would've and should've made it on the list, but I couldn't find a single Mega Evolution design for these two that I liked on the internet. In fact, a lot of the Pokemon from Alola are lacking Mega fan art, but these two really do deserve Megas, as they're Guzma and Plumeria's ace Pokemon respectively. Being the ace Pokemon some important villains gives them importance, but they also deserve a Mega cause they don't even have their own unique Z moves. So Mega Evolutions for these villainous Pokemon will definitely make them a whole lot more memorable and menacing. Number 1. Lycanroc. Without a doubt, Lycanroc is the one Pokemon who deserves a Mega the most from the Alola region. Not only is it one of the most iconic Pokemon from the region, but Rockruff is also kind of considered to be the 4th starter of the Alola region. With a title like that, there's no way that it doesn't deserve a Mega. It's got 3 different forms that kind of embody the sun and the moon, and within the anime, Ash's Lycanroc is pretty much the powerhouse of his team. Yeah, like I said, with this resume, there's no way that it doesn't deserve a Mega. Now, I don't have any consistent designs for all 3 forms, but I really do like this Mega Lycanroc midday form designed by an unknown artist. The design is rather sleek and simple. Its color scheme is gray and white, with touches of yellow with the symbols of the sun over its body. To me, that's all we really need for a Mega to symbolize the sun, or rather, Solgaleo. We'll have Mega Midday Lycanroc's typing be Rock and Steel, with its ability being Full Metal Body, or a renamed version of it. Mega Lycanroc Midnight form would be a similar gray color, with purple moon symbols all over its body, with its typing being Rock and Ghost to symbolize Lunala, with Shadow Shield as an ability, or a renamed version of it. And finally, for Mega Lycanroc Dust form, we'll have it be gray with either green or red symbols all over its body that symbolize both the sun and the moon. Red because Solgaleo and Lunala's shiny forms are red, or green because Rockruff needs a green moon to evolve into this form. However, its typing will be taken from Ultra Necrozma and it will be a Rock and Dragon type. But don't worry, as it's not getting Neuroforce, it'll just stick to retaining Tough Claws. This way, each form still symbolizes what they represent, and they become stronger and get more fitting typings in the process. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the 7th episode of the Top 5 Potential Mega Series. And with the last of our regions, our series continues, as next time we have the Top 5 Potential Starter Mega Evolutions. So be sure to stay tuned for that, and 2 more episodes of the series after that one. If you enjoyed, be sure to hero punch the like button. If you didn't, hit the dislike button. Let me know how you feel. Comment down below your thoughts and opinions. What did you think of the Megas on this list? And what Alola Megas do you want to see in future generations? Let me know. Share the video if you want to help us with the channel. And finally, subscribe and hit the little bell icon if you want to stay up to date with all my content. Take care of yourselves, have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next video, alright? Later.